Hey guys, welcome to Base Wars Qualifier number 6. This is Shaft of the Clinton Casting Crew. My co-caster tonight is Miraculous Gaming's ItsVIP. Our streamer and observer tonight is H2O's DrewUniverse. Give a big round of applause for these guys. Now, here on the top left-hand side of Frost.
Oh my goodness. Just realized you guys don't have me in your game. I didn't know you guys were starting.
Oh, ouch. Ouch. That is terrible. Oh, okay. Well, sorry, VIP.
No.
Yeah, follow the screen share. That'll work. It's almost instant. Anyways, here in the top left-hand side of Frost Ladder Edition, in the red Protoss Strongs representing team IVD, it's Thunder. And he... Oh, go ahead.
I can't. I actually don't have the screen share yet, so you can go ahead and do all the intros, friend.
Okay, resend the screen share, please. But here in the top right-hand side of Frost Ladder Edition in the blue Protoss trunks representing Chaos Latin Gamers, it's the ever unorthodox, super aggressive player, Don't Panic. He has teammates with such as Gem Rising, so you can always expect the unexpected from this guy.
And it will be a toss-on-toss in this game. Pretty excited about that. Oh, wow. Hold on. I had the screen share. It went somewhere. I don't know what happened.
He just turned it off because he didn't think you had it. He's resending it.
Okay, perfect. I got it now. There we go. I can see everything now. We're all good.
Yeah! Thank God for Skype Premium.
Yeah. But I'm pretty excited to see about this. I mean, KLG, I've been starting to hear about them little by little. I think everybody's heard of IVD, especially with Thunder. I've casted him in a few of my my tournaments, and he's done extremely well. But I'm really excited to see how Don't Panic's going to do in this one. I've heard he's a very aggressive toss player, likes to mix it up, likes to do some unique things here and there.
Yeah, exactly. I remember KLG actually from back when we used to cast UASL. They were one of the teams that played pretty consistently until the end of the finals, and then they just stopped showing up. I think they had some roster troubles. But now they've got Don't Panic, they've got Gem Rising, they've got some amazing stars, and it's going to be an exciting match. That's really the summation of it all. Stargate now in production for Thunder. I'm not sure. Do you think this will catch our blue Protoss out of sorts?
Definitely right now, looking at it, it does look like an expansion is already going down for Don't Panic. So Don't Panic saying, hey, and play a little bit of a macro game. And based on what that's going to be used for, that Stargate and being scouted, I mean, that could be really dangerous, especially with one or two, what do they call? I can't think of them right now. They're dangerous, they're small.
Oracles?
There we go. I was thinking observers, and I'm like, that's not the name. I don't know why.
Hey, but they both detect invisible units, so you were close enough.
Exactly, but with that, if he does make one or two of those and they really don't get answered in a timely manner, that could be just tremendously bad for Don't Panic.
Yeah, that could definitely be terrible, but Don't Panic does have 2 gateways in production, so if he's on top of it, he should be able to get stalkers up where he needs them in time to deal with this.
Now, I do like the attachments that are going on there as well. It looks like 2 gates going down for Don't Panic. Is that 2 gates or 3? It looks like 2 gates going down for Don't Panic.
Yeah, and he's getting the Robo as well, so he'll have a great transition. You know, once he deflects the Stargate attack, he'll be able to hit some kind of timing as a follow-up, or perhaps take a third base. Now here comes the Oracle. And it looks like Thunder is dropping a proxy pylon, that crouching probe hidden pylon shenaniganry. What do you think? Is this even a viable option here for Thunder? Is he throwing his eggs all in one basket?
Right now, I think he's just going to play the pick apart game, which is definitely going to be a little bit effective based on his macro, or not, excuse me, his micro. With those Phoenix, he cannot afford to lose a single one of those Phoenixes. He'll be able to kind of just slowly but surely start to dissect the Protoss's, or I shouldn't say the Protoss, Don't Panic's back line, his mineral line. But if one of those gets picked off, this whole engage is going to be a completely different story.
Oh, taking out the sentries, that means the force fields will not be there, and the Thunder will have a stronger follow-up, and he should be able to take out this Mothership Core as well. The Mothership Core does get a photon cannon off, so the Phoenixes will be deflected, but all he's got to do is delay his timing attack just slightly. The Immortal may be out, but again, he has no force fields. 2 sentries finally being warped in, but they could be picked off yet again.
This Phoenix got to be very careful right now. They're trying to kill this off. They get the 1 kill, but he does not make it out alive. And this, like I said, I mean, the trades are definitely in favor of Thunder. especially with Thunder doing his one base all in with this one, which is kind of what I thought he was going to lean back into. But if DontPanic can hold this off, which right now he's not in a good position to, but he did take out a few Phoenix, he might actually be able to just win this game based on economy and based on positioning. But this is going to be a very tough battle for him.
Yeah, DontPanic floating some resources here, but he does manage to spend them. He's got some extra pylons going down. Another Immortal in production. Immortals, though, don't do that great against Phoenix. He's going to have to focus more on this ground army. And there is a supply block for DontPanic. He has to stay alive with what he's got. A Time Warp goes down for Thunder, and he is picking up a lot of the Stalkers here for DontPanic. DontPanic's army has been dissected. Your words exactly. This is looking horrible for Chaos Latin gamers.
Not only that, but he needed to bring those probes down from the main mineral line to try to deal with this. But that mothership core going down is pretty big right there. Not a huge thing, but a nice little thing. Phoenix is still trying to pick off those stalkers, and the army size is just, it's starting to whittle a little bit more and more. Now, 2 gateways almost done, though, for Panic, so Panic might be able to just barely hold it off enough to hold off this army, and if he can do that, he'll be in a pretty decent position.
Wow, Thunder has had a very strong attack. Losing that mothership core really seemed to break his attack. And now he is just waiting, trying to find a good position, but DontPanic has an observer in play. He is able to take out this pylon. This will be another supply block here, but 2 pylons are in production for DontPanic, so it won't be for long. Some zealots being warped in here. DontPanic going to be forced back into his base, waiting for this other Immortal to hop in, and the Phoenix are coming to see what they can pick off.
Thunder right now playing the Phoenix game, just going to be able to go back in that mineral line again and keep picking off spare probes whenever he can. He's going to try to keep hurting off that economy. He needs to keep that economy at bay and basically not allow him to get full saturation at either base to keep this attack going. So he's playing it really, really smart. Panic's trying to hold this off, but without having Blink Stalkers, this can be a little bit of trouble.
Yeah, where does Thunder go from here? I mean, he's got a good attack. He did a great attack, but he still hasn't expanded. It's an all-in. Does he transition, or does he keep all-inning?
At this point in time, a transition would be very silly. It would delay this all-in. He has the advantage. He is out of energy a little bit by the Phoenixes, but he does have the advantage. He needs to keep pressing this. This is his shot to win. He needs to maybe build, like he is right now, a Robo Bay just to counteract some of the Immortals, but he's actually going to pull back, and I feel like Panic at this point in time should be able to put counter pressure on him once he can deal with those Phoenixes.
It looks like DontPanic believes that as well. He is now taking the Zanaga Tower. He did leave a few Stalkers at home, but with some good Phoenix lifts, they are eliminated. He should probably consider a photon cannon or 2.
Yeah, definitely. 1 or 2 cannons at each base. I mean, he'll still get a few probes picked off, but even with that, he'll be able to put a little bit of counter pressure on those Phoenixes, punish them for staying a little bit too long. But the problem right now he's starting to have is that air superiority is really starting to pay dividends. But Panic also looks like looked like he was going to go down the map and just try to counter pressure, but instead he's going to stay home, play defensive, and be happy that he has his one little bit lead.
Well, he's got the Forge in production. I think he's just going to stay home long enough to get the cannons on.
Oh no, these Phoenixes get caught way out of position, and these Stalkers are going to be able to do a nice little bit of damage. They take a few of them out there. That is not looking good right now.
No, not at all. Actually, if I take a look at Shift L, it looks like 4 Phoenixes have been killed right now here for Thunder. So he has lost pretty much a third of his total Phoenix count.
Not only that, but these Phoenixes are just going to continue to try to hammer this base. He's trying to take this advantage. He's playing it very, very well, but cannons looking like they're about to start coming up pretty soon at the mineral line. This is going to really be his last chance to kind of take these probes uncontested. And he needs to harass like crazy with those. And it does also look like he's building a little bit of an army in the back to reinforce this harassment.
Yeah, the problem right now with these Phoenix is that they have run out of energy. He is not continuing to restock them, so he's basically just reliant on them continually getting energy. He's going to have to wait a little while as a result of that before he goes back in. The cannons, of course, going to make it so that he has to be a lot more careful with these harassments. Now, DontPanic looks like he is scouting around for any ghost expansions. He is wondering why Thunder still has not expanded. Of course, Thunder just now laid down a Nexus, but DontPanic doesn't know that.
Not only that, but DontPanic's got to be thinking, okay, I scouted all this stuff. He doesn't have any kind of extra mineral income, so I've got to be at an advantage economically wise, but I really need to press this 2-base advantage. I'd be very, very surprised if Panic decided not to put a 2-base kind of pressure on his opponent or do a 2-base all-in or something of that nature.
Exactly, man. These guys are such scrappy players. It's actually surprising to see DontPanic on the defensive. Again, this guy is known for his aggression. I guess Thunder wanted DontPanic to be in more unfamiliar territory and is forcing him onto that back foot.
Exactly. I mean, those Phoenixes still being a nuisance in the base, but the cannon's going to be able to prevent him from really being able to fully utilize control. And every time they're trying to take a probe or two, they have to take a hit or two, and he's got to be very careful with which Phoenix is out front, as some of them are very low on energy, so 1 or 2 shots can end that.
And if he can actually park these Phoenixes near the Robo, he could potentially snipe a Colossi as it's leaving before any Stalkers get there.
Yeah, Panic has a very good straight-up army, but the problem is if he did commit with that army, he has no reinforcing units, as those Phoenix will be able to just fly in and destroy his mineral line, destroy his base. I kind of feel like if he wants to push the trigger or pull the trigger right now, he can do it, but he needs to make 1 or 2 more cannons at his base just to kind of stall. But that Thermal Lance almost done, that's definitely going to increase the danger of his army.
He's got the Twilight Council finishing up now. Do you think this is for Blink, Charge, or is he going to be going for something a little sneakier like Dark Templar?
I actually kind of think maybe the latter. It will probably be something around the noise of Archon. I think Archon would definitely be a nice little addition to his army. But the one thing he's going to be very careful about are those Immortals. He does not want to get Stalker heavy with the amount of Immortals his opponent has. That'll be very, very dangerous. And I just want to say something about the 2 styles that the 2 are playing. Thunder playing a very aggressive style, very in your face. I'm going to harass you the whole game. He even making a Warp Prism to do that. Compared to DontPanic, he's playing such kind of a laid back, come at me, I'm going to defend you, I'm going to defend your aggression style. I mean, which one do you really think is the bigger advantage in toss versus toss?
Well, for toss versus toss in general, I feel like the defensive is better. However, I feel like DontPanic is, again, in unfamiliar territory here, and he's taken some losses that maybe weren't quite necessary.
I couldn't agree with you more on that one, but the Phoenix is kind of getting caught in that little tough spot again. And Panic taking his 3rd expansion, I mean, Thunder's ready for it, though. Has his War Prism there, going to wait for that expansion to go down, and then probably drop a few Zealot to say hi and give that thing the kiss of death.
Thunder also working on his Twilight Council, so both these players getting ready for that high-end tech route.
And DontPanic is about 30 supply over Thunder, so I got to give credit to Thunder, even though his attack did get denied, and that 3rd getting hit, by the way, but even though that attack did get denied, he's done a great job of kind of hanging in there pretty well and keeping the harassment, keeping his opponent on edge the whole time, so he can come back into this game a little bit.
Absolutely, and we are going to see DontPanic really start to capitalize on his economic advantage. He's got the 3 bases now. He's getting the Templar Archive. He has got the ability to make High Templar. He is making them. He's got the Blink Stalkers. He's got the +2 attack, and there are the Archons you spoke of.
And Archons definitely be a great complement to this army. He's got a little bit of Zealots. Archons, I mean, as you know, they can't get picked up by Phoenixes, and they're basically Phoenix's kryptonite, per se. Not only that, though, but they make his army just so tanky in that aspect because there's just so much damage for them to take before they die, as well as all of the damage goes to a shield, so it can replenish rather quickly.
Yeah, it really becomes a game of the tech choices here, because the Colossi are the powerhouse. That's really going to give DontPanic the advantage in a straight-up engagement. However, Thunder has the Phoenix, which really knock out the Colossi. The Archons, of course, as you said, the Phoenix is kryptonite, so it becomes a game of who can keep what unit composition alive and how they position.
Now, it does look a little bit like Thunder kind of getting a few units a little bit caught out. Nothing big, though, but a big battle about to engage, and they're getting ready for it.
Make sure we control Alt 7, because here we go. Colossi Thermal Lance taking the gateway units out. The Phoenix trying to take these Colossi out, but he is having a hard time single firing on one Colossi. There we go. There goes one. But there's the GG. Thunder knew it was not enough. What happened there, VIP? Why was that so one-sided?
That was such a beautiful bait initially. He did bring a few units, acting like he was going to go up the ramp. He was able to steal a few force fields off of his opponent, and Thunder didn't have a lot of force fields for it. I felt like if those 2 or 3 force fields he stole from him were there for the main battle, or at least a Guardian Shield or 2, he would have done a great job. But unfortunately, like I said, he tried an all-in. It didn't work. He did a phenomenal job of keeping his opponent on edge. I actually thought DontPanic gave up too many kills for the probes. But in the end, DontPanic just kept that macro style, kept that very, very safe, very clean style that Toss at times is known about, of just building your army, upgrading your army, and getting all the necessary upgrades you need. And that blink was just so crucial in that fight, too.
Yeah, dude. So that was such an epic game. It was so... such an opposite of the first game we watched, the Zerg vs Protoss. That was such a slow-paced game. It was small, minor skirmishes that didn't really matter. These skirmishes, there were a lot of them, but they were each one significant in their own little way.
Exactly. I mean, you got to give it to Thunder. He did a phenomenal job. He kept pressure on his opponent for his all-in. His all-in didn't initially work. It was held off, which is a very good hold-off by DontPanic, so I'm not taking credit away from him by any means. Thunder kept putting that pressure, refused to let his opponent, what I say, breathe in a sense, or get any kind of period to where he can just easy macro back up. But DontPanic just stayed tried and true. He did what he needed to do. With his macro, he kept expanding. He knew he was going to take a lot of losses. He actually reacted a little bit late to those Phoenixes, but he still reacted to them in enough time to where he was able to take control of that game and just make a big push in.
Exactly, man. Well, I'm going to go ahead and pull you guys into this next game. We've got one amazing one coming up with one of my favorite Terran players to cast, actually.
Well, unfortunately, like I said, I'm going to have to be getting going. I do appreciate it. Thanks a lot so much for letting me cast this game, though. In the future, I'm definitely going to come down and try to cast some more of your games, if you would allow me.
Oh, absolutely, dude. Cannot wait.
All right, well, you guys have a good one. Thanks a lot for listening to me. Hopefully, I'll see you in another Base Wars, man.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. See you next time.
See you next time.
All right, bye.
Alrighty, guys. So we are in the lobby right now getting these players in here. It is going to be a Terran vs Terran on heavy rain. So we're about to be getting this started.